Today, India is celebrating its 73rd Republic Day. We as deviants would like to celebrate it with heaps of joy, happiness, and pride in our hearts. Why do Indians across the globe celebrate it with much pomp and splendor? Here's Vishnupriya to give us a clear view about the same.
Vande Mataram. The Constitution isn't merely a lawyer's document. It's a vehicle of life and its spirit is a spirit of ages. Constitution isn't only used for limiting the power of the power wielders, but to empower those who are traditionally deprived of it. The Constitution of India is the supreme law of the land. It was adopted on 26 November 1949 and came into effect on 26 January 1950. It was drafted by the Constituent Assembly, the culmination of India's greatest personalities from every walk of life. Out of them, the three greatest stalwarts with the highest contribution are Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, B.R. Ambedkar and Jawaharlal Nehru.
Our nation was born out of selfless struggles and sacrifices of the leaders of yesteryears. Let's hear about them from Aishwarya using a visual presentation.
Mahatma Gandhi once said, "Freedom is never dear at any price. It is the breath of life." We all have the freedom to walk, speak, and do whatever we want, however we want. But the situation during the colonial period was nothing like this. The colonial period is often related to struggles, hardships, and sadness. And it is only because of our freedom fighters were we able to get back the freedom that the people of our country deserve. Every small and big effort made by them has resulted in the life that we live today. They deserve to be honored and remembered, and what better way to do that than to learn more about them on this occasion of India's Republic Day.
Mahatma Gandhi was born at Porbandar in Gujarat on 2nd October. His contribution to Indian freedom movements and his championship of non-violence earned him the title of Father of the Nation, or Bapu. During the Indian freedom struggle, Gandhi advocated many peaceful protests and demonstrations. These protests were conducted with the principle of non-violence. Some of the movements conducted by him are: Number 1. Champaran Movement. The movement was an approach of civil disobedience to make Britishers agree to the demand of farmers, who were forcefully made to grow indigo. Number 2. Kheda Movement. Gandhi started a signature campaign where peasants pledged non-payment of taxes. He also arranged a social boycott of the revenue officials. Number 3. Khilafat Movement. Gandhi had a major influence on the Muslim population of India. It helped in uniting the country at the time of crisis, when Britishers tried their best to divide the nation on religious grounds. Number 4. Non-cooperation movement. After all these years of his active participation, Gandhi realized that the British had been able to be in India only because of the cooperation they received from the Indians. To counter this, he started the non-cooperation movement. Number 5. Dandi movement. The famous Dandi movement, also known as the Salt March, began when Gandhi started a satyagraha campaign against the salt tax. Number 6. Quit India movement. The final nail in the coffin for British Raj in India was the Quit India movement. Led by Gandhi in 1942, he firmly protested against the British rule and said that the Indians cannot be involved in the World War II. Manikarnika Tambe. Rani Lakshmi Bai, also called the Rani of Jhansi, was a pivotal figure in the Indian Revolt of 1857. She is also regarded as one of the greatest freedom fighters of India. Lord Dalhousie sought to annex Jhansi when the Maharaja, her husband, had died, applying the doctrine of lapse since the king did not have any natural heir. As per this, the Rani was granted an annual pension and asked to leave the fort of Jhansi. British forces under the command of Sir Hugh Grose arrived at Jhansi Fort with the intention of capturing it in 1858. He demanded that the city surrender to him or else it would be destroyed. but Rani Lakshmibai refused and fought for what was hers. Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar. Ambedkar was born into a poor, untouchable family and spent his whole life fighting against social discrimination. Ambedkar saw the caste system as an unequal mode of organization of social relations, with the pure and the impure at either extremes. He argued that this system was sanctified through religious codes that forbade intermixture of castes and confined social interaction to a regulated structure. He made immense contributions in the shaping of modern India. He led millions of oppressed to a life of self-respect, dignity, and responsibility improved. It was Ambedkar who was primarily responsible for the formulation of the constitution, adopted after the independence of India. Jawaharlal Nehru is one of the most important people in the list of Indian freedom fighters. After independence, he became the first Prime Minister of Free India. He was also the author of the famous book Panchashila. With his death, India lost a fearless leader of outstanding merits, rare gifts, and great qualities of head and heart.
The India we live in today would not have existed if it weren't for our freedom fighters. They fought for their country and for the people in it without any hesitation. So let's stand together and honor their sacrifices by maintaining the peace and harmony forever.
എൻ്റെ നാട് ഭാരതമെന്നമ്മ നാട് എൻ്റെ നാട് ഭാരതമെന്നമ്മ നാട് പെറ്റമ്മയാണെൻ്റെ നാട് എല്ലാരെയും ഒന്നായി തലോടുന്ന നാട് പെറ്റമ്മയാണെൻ്റെ നാട് എല്ലാരെയും ഒന്നായി തലോടുന്ന നാട് അങ്ങു ദൂരെ ആകാശത്ത് കാണുന്നു നമ്മുടെ മൂന്നു നിറക്കൊടികൾ അങ്ങു ദൂരെ ആകാശത്ത് കാണുന്നു നമ്മുടെ മൂന്നു നിറക്കൊടികൾ എൻ്റെ പതാകയാണ് എൻ്റെ ജീവൻ ഭാരതമെന്നഭിമാനം എൻ്റെ പതാകയാണ് എൻ്റെ ജീവൻ ഭാരതമെന്നഭിമാനം എൻ്റെ നാട് ഭാരതമെന്നമ്മ നാട് എൻ്റെ നാട് ഭാരതമെന്നമ്മ നാട് പെറ്റമ്മയാണെൻ്റെ നാട് എല്ലാരെയും ഒന്നായി തലോടുന്ന നാട് പെറ്റമ്മയാണെൻ്റെ നാട് എല്ലാരെയും ഒന്നായി തലോടുന്ന നാട് മഴയുള്ള മഞ്ഞുള്ള വെയിലുള്ള നാട് പാടും കിളിയുള്ള നാട് മഴയുള്ള മഞ്ഞുള്ള വെയിലുള്ള നാട് പാടും കിളിയുള്ള നാട് ഒരുമയോടൊരുമിച്ചു വാഴുന്ന നാട് ഭാരതമാണെൻ്റെ നാട് ഒരുമയോടൊരുമിച്ചു വാഴുന്ന നാട് ഭാരതമാണെൻ്റെ നാട് എൻ്റെ നാട് ഭാരതമെന്നമ്മ നാട് എൻ്റെ നാട് ഭാരതമെന്നമ്മ നാട് പെറ്റമ്മയാണെൻ്റെ നാട് എല്ലാരെയും ഒന്നായി തലോടുന്ന നാട് പെറ്റമ്മയാണെൻ്റെ നാട് എല്ലാരെയും ഒന്നായി തലോടുന്ന നാട്
Stories play a vital role in the growth and development of a child. Reading also helps them by improving their vocabulary and it develops their language skills. On this day, I'd like to introduce you to a book review written on Mahatma Gandhi, followed by an anecdote from his life.
Hello, my dear friends. I wish you all a happy Republic Day. I hope you are all enjoying your Corona days with your favorite hobbies. I spend my best days with my best friend. Do you know who? This. Reading is my favorite hobby. Now I am going to share with you how I came to the world of reading. It all started during my 5th standard vacation time. My father bought me a set of 21 famous 5 books written by Enid Blyton. It took me a whole week to read the first book. Actually, I didn't have any interest in reading it. But gradually and slowly, my interest in the book started growing. And you see, like this, I completed reading the whole 21 books in just 2 months. Friends, it takes a little push for everyone to come to the world of reading and books. Now, I would like to share with you my experience and the lessons that I learned from another book, that is Mahatma Gandhi, the Father of our Nation. This is written by Anita Ganeri. In this book, we can see the whole life history of Mahatma Gandhi from his birth to his death. Now, I would like to share with you some messages that I learned from this book. First, when Mahatma Gandhi was in London, he had so many friends, and they all insisted him to drink alcohol and eat meat. But he didn't. Do you know why? Because he had kept a promise to his mother that he will never drink and will always remain a vegetarian throughout his life. Friends, from this we can learn that whenever you make a promise, you have to follow it. There may be many problems in your way, but if you make up your mind to follow the promise, we can easily throw away all the problems from your way. Second, Mahatma Gandhi fought against the British with the means of ahimsa, that is not hurting anyone. Through this, he gave us the message that great work can be made without violence. Friends, now I would like to conclude my words with a small message. Help ever, hurt never. Thank you.
Good morning everyone. I am Abhirday Janar of class 7A. Today I am here to tell you about Gandhiji and an incident that took place in his childhood. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi was born on 2nd October 1816 at Porbandar in Gujarat. He was also called Bapuji. He was one of our greatest freedom fighters. He is the father of our nation. Truth and non-violence were his weapon to fight against the British. Here, I am going to review an incident in Gandhiji's life. This was the incident where his son classmaster realized the glory of honesty. One day at the school, an educational inspector, Mr. Gills, visited the classroom where Gandhiji was studying. He asked them to write down the spelling of the word he suggested. The classmaster was afraid of the inspector because he thought that the children would make mistakes. The inspector told them to write the correct spelling of the word kettle. Everyone wrote the word for fear of making mistakes. He immediately called the classmaster to collect the students' slate. Realizing that Gandhiji had made a mistake, the classmaster suggested him to copy the word from the nearby students. But Gandhiji refused to do so. When Mr. Gills left the classroom, the classmaster questioned him. Gandhiji already knew that he had made a mistake, but he said that he didn't want to cheat the inspector. Hereby, I am concluding my sentence. Thank you.
With the waving national flag, the atmosphere is filled with patriotic zeal. Let's make it affectionate and warmer with a scintillating dance performance to the song Suno Gaur Se Duniya Walo, which gives a stimulating message that Indians will be leading in every area. Let's sit back and enjoy their performance as we remember हमें हिंदुस्तानी होने पर गर्व है.
सुनो गौर से दुनिया वालों, बुरी नजर ना हम पे डालो. सुनो गौर से दुनिया वालों, बुरी नजर ना हम पे डालो. चाहे जितना जोर लगा लो, सबसे आगे होंगे हिंदुस्तानी. सुनो गौर से दुनिया वालों, बुरी नजर ना हम पे डालो. चाहे जितना जोर लगा लो, सबसे आगे होंगे हिंदुस्तानी. हिंदुस्तानी हमने कहा है, तुम भी कहो.
just study all day. They also find time to nurture their passions. Aren't you excited to see the hidden artistic abilities of our friends? Here we go.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday.
बच्चे मन के सच्चे सारे जग की आँख के तारे ये वो नन्हे फूल हैं जो भगवान को लगते प्यारे बच्चे मन के सच्चे खुद रूठे खुद मन जाए फिर हम जोली बन जाए झगड़ा जिसके साथ करे अगले ही पल फिर बात करे झगड़ा जिसके साथ करे अगले ही पल फिर बात करे इनको किसी से बैर नहीं इनके लिए कोई गैर नहीं इनका भोलापन मिलता है सबको बाह पसारे बच्चे मन के सच्चे
So now that we live in a free and independent India, don't you think we have the duty to protect it? But our duty doesn't stop in protecting it, but developing our nation. The true tribute to our motherland is by raising it from the step where is it today to a step above tomorrow. Our Mahatma Gandhi said, there is nothing great in doing big tasks, but what is great is doing the littlest things in the best possible way. Just like small droplets join together to form a big ocean. So, your littlest effort will serve as a milestone in India's progress. Thank you and Jai Hind.